So this question goes like this. When two objects P and Q are supplied with the same quantity of heat, the temperature change in P is observed to be twice that of Q. Okay? The mass of P is half that of Q. The ratio of the specific heat capacity of P to Q is what? Dash. They gave us options here. This is JAMB 1986. 1:4, 4:1, 1:1, 2:1. Now, if you look at this question, it reads very, very well. It's technical. Actually, it's not hard. Just that the technicality is making it look difficult. All right. I wanted us to bring out the parameters together. That is why I didn't do it up till now. So you see how we'll get our parameters, and that will make the journey easier. So if you want to bring out our parameters, what do we have two bodies here? We have P and what? And Q. When two objects, P and Q, are supplied with the same quantity of what? Heat. So let's say quantity of heat for P, let's call it what? Let's call it HP. So HP, see the capital letter here, is equals to what? HQ. That is the first thing. Yes, we're trying to represent this mathematically. Supply the same quantity of heat. The temperature change in P is observed to be twice that of what? That of Q. So change in temperature of P is equals to what? Is observed to be twice that of what? Q. So let's say it's 2. Change in temperature of what? Of Q is twice. Okay? The mass of P is half that of Q. So mass of P is equals to half the mass of what? Of Q. The ratio of the specific heat capacity of P to Q is what? So we are looking for what? Let's say PC to what? PC to QC. So we are looking for ratio of specific heat capacity of P to what? To specific heat capacity of what? Of Q. Now let's solve. We're still going to use our formula that heat loss is equals to what? Heat gain. Now the next thing is to check which of them is doing what? Is losing heat. Yes, that is very, very important. How do I know which of them is losing heat and which one is gaining heat? I'm simply going to say, okay, from the temperature. Remember, your temperature will tell you which one is losing heat or which one is doing what? Is gaining heat. So from the temperature change of P is equals to twice that of what? Q. What does it mean? It means that P is in what? Is losing heat. While Q rather is doing what? Is gaining heat. So let's go. So we have MC, change in temperature is equals to what? MC, change in what? Temperature. Now this is what? Mass of P. Our mass of P, they told us is what? Is half the mass of Q. So put this here. We have half the mass of Q is the same thing as writing MQ over what? Over 2. Right? This can multiply. Then let's write this as C. Temperature change of P. Temperature change of P is equals to what? Twice temperature change of Q. Are we together? So let me remove this symbol. Let me just, so that we'll not have too many things to write. Let me just say, okay, multiplied by what? 2 theta Q. Then it's equals to, our mass of Q is what? MQ. Then what else? We are looking for this. Change in temperature of Q is what? Theta Q. Let's multiply. Remember, this will multiply all this. So when we do that, what are we having? We will have MQ C 2 theta Q all over what? 2 will be equals to what? MQ C theta and what? Q. Now, since this is equals to this, what it means is that what? Like terms can do what? Can cancel out. So check. What is here and is here? You know, I didn't hear you. Nevertheless, I'm seeing MQ here. So, and I'm seeing MQ here. So this one can easily be what? Cancel out this one. Then what else can we do? We can cross multiply. Remember here is what? Over 1. So this can go here, while this goes here. When we do that, what do we have? We're going to say, okay, let's have C 2 theta Q is equals to 2 C theta Q. Now look at these two things. They are the same. Are they not? They are the same. Let me write. So I can write as what? 2 C theta Q equals to 2 C theta what? Q. Since they are the same, if this divide itself, it will have what? 1. If this divide itself, it will have what? It will have 1. What does it mean? That their ratio will be equal to what? 1 is to what? 1. With this, the answer becomes what option? Here we are.